A couple of years ago, I got a call from a friend of mine who is also into vintage Apple products, and he told me he had a Mac 512 that he was looking to sell, and he wanted me to see if I was interested. So I went over to his house and I checked it over, and it looked good. Definitely in amazing condition. Actually, you guys can see this Mac 512 on my channel if you just search for it in the search box. Anyway, along with the 512, he offered to sell me this unique piece of hardware. And he gave me a very, what I believe to be fair price, but I just wasn't something I was very interested in at the time. So I bought the Mac 512, I bring it home, I make some videos, and in the process I discover it's actually a 512 that was converted by a Mac shop in 1986 to a Mac Plus, which unfortunately kind of erases any real value it ever had. You know, when people are looking to buy vintage Macs, they kind of want them unadulterated. But anyway, I didn't pay a lot for the 512, so I'm not upset over it. And I ended up getting all my money back when I sold it anyway, so it kind of worked out in the end. But the color plotter was something that at the time I just, you know, even though the price was fair, it was still a little more than I was willing to spend for something I'll never use. I'll use it once, and that's right now to make this video. So I said, you know, it's cool, but you're probably going to do better on eBay. Well, he tried selling it on eBay. It didn't sell, and he called me up and said, I need the room, so come and get it. I'm like, you don't have to ask me twice. So I now own an Apple color plotter. This is I believe, a 410 color plotter. It was actually manufactured by Yokogawa, and it was sold under the Apple name in the United States. Interestingly enough, this was probably one of the worst plotters you could buy, which is why it didn't have a very long sales history. But the color plotter was actually meant for the Apple II. This is, I don't know if this has ever been usable on a Mac, which would have been, you know, a Mac Plus or a Mac 512 or even an SE. It was really intended for the Apple II line. So what's in the box? Pretty much everything that was in it when it was manufactured. No, seriously. It's not very often you find a color plotter to begin with. I think there's one on eBay, and it's been on there for a while, but there's only one. You can't buy the pens anymore. You just can't find them anywhere, and not everybody knows they exist. But I intend to change that, at least for my viewers. This product exists, and I'm going to prove it to you. So it has, this one was actually purchased used, I think, by its previous owner. So the gentleman I got it from, Derek Hugger, who owns DerekHugger.com, please check out his website. If you're into kinetic sculptures, he gave this to me for nothing, so I'm going to plug the hell out of his website for him. If you want to see some really cool American ingenuity, that's the place to go. So inside the box, what do we have? We have a packing list. Apple Color Plotter Model 410. And I think everything on this list is in this box. Let's see. Apple Color Plotter User Manual Part 1. That's this one. Check. Got that. Apple Color Plotter User Manual Part 2. Check. Warranty typo. Warranty registration card. Oh, Apple. I think that is in here. No, I don't see it. I see the unpacking instructions, though. Alright. Unpacking instructions, check. We got that. I don't see the registration card, but it could be in there somewhere. Color Plotter Evaluation Report. We have it. Check. Unpacking instructions. Yes, we got that. Oh, I already read that off. Serial interface cable. I don't see it. I don't see it. We even have a cover for it. Sexy. Alright. It could be under. It could be underneath. Who knows? Apple Pen Kit Combination 1. Now, that would be... That may not be here because that is a consumable item. But there are pens in here. Okay. These are the oil-based pens, by the way, so they're supposed to last forever. Combination 2. Apple Color Plotter Paper Apple Color Plotter Paper Kit. That's a consumable. That is not in here. Plotter Box. Apple Color Plotter Model 410. That's a checkity check. But a back paper support. I know that's in here. Pen head. I know that's in here too. Multi-pen capper. We have that. We also have the spare fuse. Why it comes with a spare fuse is kind of intriguing, but it is right here. It is a 250 volt AC slow blow fuse. Power cord, and we know there's a power cord in here. Oh, here's the pen capper kit. Peter, Piper, Pickle, Pecker, Pickle. Anyway, some tongue whiskers. What's that look like anyway? Let me put the camera down so you can see this. It looks like that thing that my my sister had that I filled with Tic Tacs and then she got pregnant. I don't know how this works. Don't know how this works. I should read the instructions maybe. Oh, this is a good opportunity to read the instructions. I've been listening to a lot of Yellow Jackets lately. Yellow Jackets are an amazing band. They're a jazz fusion band, and if you've not heard their music, you've got to do it. Oh my God, they're so awesome. This is actually an unused. No, it's used. It's not sealed. Oh, I see what this is. Okay, I think I got it. I believe the pens. Okay. So these are the pens. This is actually a pen head. All right. Red, green. What is it? Black, red, green, blue. All right. Here's the pen head thingy. And the pens, they pop out like, okay, so they pop out like this. And you've got to put them in the right spot. So this is a pen. This is a black pen. Okay. And I believe, oh, this is intriguing. So you stick this in here. And they're numbered, so one must go in here. Okay, so you take these rubber caps off, which exposes the pen, and yeah, this still writes. So this is a 30-year-old pen. Now, this is really like a storage box for short-term use. I probably wouldn't put it in for a long period of time. But here's the rotating pen. It goes. Okay, you're gonna get to see this in operation, so just sit tight. All right, so this goes in here, and then you rotate it like that, and it caps it. Oh, that's so cool. That way you don't have to pull those little nubs off every time you go to use it. We'll leave this out for now because we're going to use it in just a minute. Inside that little bag, we're going to find more pens. And it looks like I have a lot more pens than I thought. Now, the thing is, these pens are no longer in production. So having as many of these that are sealed and never used, this looks like this bag is completely sealed. This is a bag of blue pens. This is a bag, this is a mixed bag. Looks like it's got all of the colors. This one's been used. These have been taken. These have been uncapped. Here's a brand new bag of black. This one has been opened, so some of these may be used, but there's 3 of them in there. And here's a bag of 4. These are like an off color: purple, orange, yellow, and yellow. And what's this one? Here's another. This one. This is probably what's already. I unpacked. Okay. Yeah, I'll shut it now. This is the bag, the pens that are in that little rotating cap thing. Okay. Here we have another cover. This probably goes to, oh my god. I know it. This is a disk drive cover. This is a friggin' disk drive cover. Maybe not. Could be a mouse cover. You gotta understand, alright, in the 1980s, when you bought a computer, it meant you were fucking loaded. And what do you do when you're fucking loaded? You put plastic on shit. You put plastic on your sofa, you put plastic on your chairs, you put plastic on your rugs to protect the expensive shit that you just bought. Now, a computer was considered a major investment. Not everybody could afford one. So, when you bought a computer, you gave it the old plastic couch treatment. When it wasn't being used, you put covers on everything. These covers are something that is really interesting to see in today's world, where every computer basically is given a 3-year shelf life and then you throw it away. Why would you bother covering something you're going to throw away anyway, right? Well, back then it was considered a long-term investment, so you bought covers to keep the dust off your equipment. Sorry for the foul language. If you can't handle it, don't watch my shit. Alright. So, we're going to take the printer out of the box. And what do we have underneath? We've got more stuff. This thing is in mint condition. Oh my god. It is in mint condition. We have a serial cable. This has got a 25 pin, only 4 pins on this sucker? Oh shit. Well, this is a serial cable with an ADB adapter. I mean, sorry, an Apple serial adapter. This is an 8-pin Apple serial adapter. This would plug into, I believe, a super serial card. I'm gonna need some more adapters. I'm gonna have to buy because I have two Macs here. I'm sorry, Apple IIs. One of them is a 2GS, and it would actually, this would work with a 2GS, but it won't work with a 2C. I've got a 2C, which would require me to obtain the 5-pin DIN to DB9 serial. But it's interesting, it only uses 5 pins. Wait, what? There's 5 pins on this end and only 4 on the other. Well, that's messed up. Hope it's not broken. Oh, anyway. So there's that. So we can put a big old check on the fact that it still contains that. Oh, what do we have here? We've got an invoice. California Digital Incorporated, the original owner. I won't really share that with you. If you saw it, wait, you can probably see it through the light. I'm going to have to pull away here. So, Apple Mac Support Kit, which would be the cable that I just showed you. Pen set. 7mm paper blue. Total cost $24.95. On this invoice, now that was dated 10/23 of '86. On this invoice, yeah, see, this was purchased used because he only paid $159 for it in 10/16 of '86. Apple 4-pen color plotter, $159 from California Digital Incorporated. So it was likely purchased used. I am now, as far as I can tell, the 4th owner. Okay. And those 4 owners, it probably hasn't done much. Here we have the back tray. There is no power cord in here, so I'll have to scrounge one up. Now what we have here is a catalog of different items that California Digital will sell you. 4-pen color plotter, $159. The manufacturer has asked us not to publish their name. Oh, come on. But this 4-color plotter was produced by one of the world's largest makers of personal computers. The 410 color plotter will connect to the serial port of virtually any microcomputer. Simple ASCII commands direct one of 4 color pens to draw circles, arcs, or ellipses on paper or transparency material up to 11 by 17 inches. The plotter is capable of producing the full upper and lowercase alphabet along with the 7 international character sets. Text can be printed horizontal, here's another typo, horizontal, vertical, or diagonal in sizes from 1/16 to 6 inches. Slanted forward or backward to 85 degrees. Enlargements or reductions are achieved through elaborate firmware. Pen travel is 4 inches per second with a 4,000 pen resolution. Standard pens are available in an assortment of 32 different colors and widths. The ideal plotter for architecture, CAD engineering, or graphic design. At $595, it was a great buy. At $159, it is a steal. Support packages for specific computers available. Manual, only $15 refundable upon purchase or plotter. It should be of plotter. Interesting. So this is obviously the advertisement for this printer. Now, it doesn't say it was used, but I bet you Apple overproduced these things and couldn't sell them for any price. So they sold them to these warehouse guys, and they probably unloaded them at a bargain. Look at this other stuff here. Cherry infrared keyboard. Look at that. Wireless keyboard from 1986. No way, I didn't even know they made those. Cost $289 retail. We'll sell it to you for $119 bucks. The Xerox Sunrise computer, $300 bucks. Dragon computer, that was an Apple II clone, wasn't it? Oh, it was a TRS-80 clone. Dragon computer was 89 bucks. Quick Link 300 gives you instant link to any dial-up database, such as Dow Jones, Western Union, or The Source. The Quick Link has 4 user-programmable logon keys, allowing the operator with only one keystroke With one keystroke to dial the database, log in, and give the password. All this information is permanently stored in non-volatile RAM or NVRAM. Features include video output to television or monitor, auto dial, auto log, full-size keyboard, 300 baud modem, and 1200 baud auxiliary. Okay. Wow, an 80s daisy wheel printer. I had one of those once. It sounded... Alright, if you've never heard a daisy wheel printer, you're missing out on a lot. Daisy wheel printers. Gosh, they had better print quality than even a modern day laser printer, and that is no joke. The problem was, they could not print graphics, and they could only print in one font, whatever font the daisy wheel happened to be. So if you put a Times New Roman daisy wheel in there, you're going to get nothing but Times New Roman. They also had limitations on kerning and character spacing and all that happy stuff. The problem was, the real problem was, they were noisy as hell. It sounded like somebody standing in your office with a machine gun. That's what they sounded like. No joke. So that's what they sounded like when they were running. So if you had a daisy wheel printer, you had, of course, obviously the best image quality you could possibly get from any printer, even today, because they use the same print technology as a film typewriter, like the IBM Selectric. No, the Selectric used a golf ball. Think of a Smith Corona, or a Brother. And, yeah, but the print quality couldn't be matched by anything. Here's an IBM-compatible computer for $495. What did we get for $495 in 1986? Well, I'll tell you. 256K expandable RAM, 2640 on motherboard. Double-sided, double-density disk drive. That was a 360K drive. IBM type keyboard with LED indicators. I actually have one of those in my closet. Similar to that one. 8 expansion slots. That was it. No printer card, no hard drive, no serial card. Just a bare bones system. No, it doesn't even say it comes with a graphics adapter either. Or does it? Yeah, so it's an 8088 basically. So 4.7 megahertz, 8088. Probably a Siemens, or it could be an Intel. Flip top lid. Options. 20 megabyte hard drive with controller, because you had to buy the controller back then with the drive. $495. Doesn't say what brand though. Additional drive installed. That'd be another floppy drive. So if you want 2 floppy drives, well, guess what? You got to pay another 99 bucks. 8087 math coprocessor, $119. 10 meg tape drive, $489. Microsoft mouse was 140 bucks. Color monitor, 200 bucks. Monochrome monitor, $140. Interesting. If you want a serial card, 2 drive controller, clock, cal software, that would run you 80 bucks. Parallel serial and game ports. A 1200 baud modem, 179. But you didn't come here to watch me read off this flyer. You came here to see a printer, and I'm going to deliver. Here we go. Alright, we got to take the box off the table. Oh, it's even got desiccant packs in it. Look at that. And they're pink, which means that they're fully desiccated. I got 2 of them in there. Empty bag. There we go. Let's see some action. Alright, let's get the printer. Oh man, this thing is like new. I mean, really. You won't find a cleaner example. Whereas, unless it's sealed in the original box. And you know something, I believe the one that's for sale on eBay is actually sealed in the original box. So there's your, push that in. Okay. Let's take a look at the underside. Oh, there's nothing to see here. Looks like it's rusting on the bottom. Oh, no, maybe not. It could be the adhesive from the feet left over. But this is what, oh, my camera's really hot. So here's the bottom. Here's the top. God, this thing is so rare. Look at that. No yellowing. No yellowing at all. So we've got the platen down there. It's actually a rough, looks like it's an acid etched aluminum roller. And you've got your pen carousel here. Oh, wait till you guys see this thing in operation. Oh my god. Alright. This is your platen wheel here. You gotta push it in and rotate like that. Power switch. Alright. Let me get some stuff ready to go, and we'll test it out. Okay, on the back we've got our serial port with the cap still in place. Dip switches for, you know, parameter adjustments. We've got a grounding pin for no reason. I don't know why that's there, because it's got a grounded power cord. And you've got the fuse holder. Something tells me that during the product development phase, these machines had a propensity to blow fuses. And they didn't bother to figure out why, so they just included free fuses. Interesting. Okay. Because I want to demonstrate this properly. Gotta figure out where this goes. Let's see. See if we can figure it. Oh, I see it. Actually, it goes into these little vents. This is if you're printing on 11 by 17, or possibly, I don't know, A4. There you go. I'm going to preload the paper. Do I have to? So let's see. A4 and see A4. C5. Oh, this must be, here, let's open this up. Okay, so this relieves the tension on the paper. Why do I not see a letter? Oh, whatever. Okay, so we're going to just kind of feed that in. Make sure it's lined up correctly. Now, for the past at least 25 years, all this thing has been doing is occasionally printing test patterns. And I have a bunch of them printed out, but I wanna print one out for you guys so you can see it in action. Okay, here we go. Now I'm going to unload the pen from its holder. I'm going to pop that on. When you see how these pens are changed from one color to the next, you're going to be blown away at how, I don't know, inefficient it is. Yeah, inefficient. It's a very inefficiently built machine, and you're going to see what I mean in just a second. So, I think this goes on like this. Okay. Now the pens are all uncapped. Paper's loaded. Let's turn it on. See? That's how it changes the pen color. How stupid is that? Rather than mount a tiny little motor or something and so that it can switch the pens on the fly, wait till you see this thing in operation. It is so slow. Hold down the test button. It's going to figure out the pen. Ooh, we better not do that. Well, you saw some of it anyway. So now we're going to demonstrate how this works. And I'm going to show you what it's doing, and then we'll actually run the demo. So we're going to open up the plexiglass shield. And I want to show you basically how it switches from one color to the next and how it applies pressure to the paper. The pens are located in a carousel-like assembly. It is a 4-position carousel that rotates in one direction. It'll rotate freely in either direction, but the machine will only rotate it in one direction, and that is clockwise. So in order for this machine to select a different color when called for, it actually has to bounce the carousel against the, there's actually a little ratcheting assembly here, each time. So for example, let's say you're printing on black, which is position number 1. I should also mention that this device has no way of acknowledging what pens are in each of 4 positions. So as of right now, we have black in number 1, 2 is orange, 3 is green, and 4 is blue. So for example, if we're printing a black border, as you'll see it do in just a few minutes, and it has to switch to blue. It has to bounce this carousel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times for it to go from position 1 to position 4. That takes a considerable amount of time when it's printing a single page with multiple colors. But let's say it's going from blue, then it has to go to position number 3, which is green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Same 6 positions. It can't rotate counterclockwise. It doesn't have that ability. As I mentioned earlier, the platen is a fairly precise mechanism. It is consisting of an etched aluminum cylinder Very similar to a modern-day Epson color inkjet printer. It has a single reed switch to tell it where the homing position is on the carriage assembly. So when it's parked in this position or when it's changing colors, it hits a reed switch, and that sets the limit for the stepper motor controlled mechanism. Once it knows where its left margin is, it can count revolutions and determine where the left margin is, which isn't dissimilar to a modern inkjet printer. To apply pressure, it uses a simple solenoid mechanism mounted to this rod here. And what it's doing is it's applying an electromagnetic pulse, or the pulse width is determined by the amount of time it needs to be contacting the paper. But a small solenoid powers this bar here, which lowers the entire carousel down to the paper. In order to prevent damage to the mechanism, it actually has a dampening system. It's mounted right above the carriage assembly right here. You'll notice there's a rubber diaphragm, and what that does is it provides a small amount of air resistance so that it doesn't come crashing down. Otherwise, an undampened mechanism would probably shatter the pen head and or damage the paper while the printing is commencing. When you hear it run, you'll find that it actually contacts and releases from the paper several times a second. And I actually know it's not even that fast. I think it's like once a second, but it's rapid enough to where a dampening mechanism is necessary. The paper guides are very similar to a modern-day inkjet printer, well, a sheet-fed one anyway. It has these small weighted tabs that it uses to provide a way to keep the paper flat against the platen. They are freely mounted. They're not really rigid or spring-loaded or anything. They just use simple physics, a little bit of weight to keep pressure on the paper. This allows you to relieve the paper from the platen so you can rapidly remove a document without rolling it out with the platen wheel. Now we actually have it lined up, and you can actually use this to change the. Actually, no, I'm sorry. That's what this does. It relieves the pressure, but it also changes the position. Gives you it unlocks the guide. So we're going to set it to the A4 position. And the dip switches in the back are set for 8.5 by 11 paper. If you need to change the paper size to legal or A4 or whatever, you just have to do it using the dip switches in the back. Actually, it should be A. I'm sorry. I had that right the first time. So we're going to load the paper by hand. We're going to line it up with this guide on the left so that it touches, just so that it touches the platen. Then we're going to engage the manual feeder by putting a light amount of pressure to engage the clutch, and we're going to roll it forward until the paper lines up with this top mark. Okay. Then we're going to lower the acrylic cover, and we're going to power it up. So what it's going to do is start off in position number 1, which we set to black. Now if I hold down the test button, it'll sing for us. It prints with simple X and Y coordinates, but it does a remarkable job for such old technology at obtaining a crisp printout. I want to point out that the pens that we're printing with are 30 years old, and might I mention, no longer in production. pen plotters have largely, actually, I think they've completely lost favor towards the lower cost inkjet models. I know I recently bought a 42-inch HP plotter for work. And I think it was only around, I think it was under $800, which the one that it replaced cost double that just 9 years prior, 8 years prior. So the test page consists of several printouts of the Apple name in multiple directions. And this is to show how this plotter can print at an angle and a complete circle. Essentially showing the customer or the owner everything this machine is capable of doing. It's a remarkable test page. It takes forever to print. I should mention this. If the paper were to slide or move at all, it wouldn't know it, and it would continue printing on without being able to compensate or without being able to acknowledge that the paper is out of alignment. There are no paper sensors on this entire machine. It does it all based on a datum point, and that's it. So it knows that if you load the paper correctly, it'll know exactly where this is, it'll remember where this is, and it'll remember where that is. So if it has to draw a circle around this after the fact, it can do that, as long as the paper doesn't shift. It's a fairly simple mechanism. I'm not sure how well that dash pod is doing at dampening the... it's technically called a dash pod, by the way. But I'm not so sure it's doing its job. It's crashing down pretty hard. It's worth mentioning that this device hasn't printed any real work in at least 25 years. It's just been used to print test pages just to amaze people. That's all it's been doing. It's pretty cool though. I mean, this is therapeutic. Okay, now we can, I don't know what any of these do. Oh, that's the test. Oh, no. Where's the power switch? It's going to print all over itself again. Power switch is right on the top. Hey! Alright guys, let's take a look at our masterpiece. So in the future, I'm going to try to connect this to one of my Apple IIs. I am soliciting advice. For those of you who actually know what this thing is capable of doing and how, please let me know. I'd love to experiment with this machine. In fact, I told the gentleman who gave it to me that I would invite him over so he can actually see it do some real work. I'll make a pie chart or some graphs or some shit. But I want to know what it can do and how. I mean, I can't find really any information on it. I have the owner's manual, but it really is meant for somebody who knows how to use Apple Basics. I do not. No, I do not. But it tells you all the black, red, blue, green, violet, brown, burnt orange, and gold. Other colors may become available in the future. Yeah, no, that didn't happen for Apple. No, sorry. Apple's like, yeah, we're not making these anymore. Nobody wants them. So I got to make sure those pens get capped. And I'm going to pack this sucker away and put it away for another day. Alright, thanks for watching the Apple 410 Color Plotter. You saw it here on BBISHOPPCM's World. Thanks again. This has got to be the coolest toy ever. I mean, it's so simple. This is not an antique, it's a reproduction of an antique, but it is the coolest thing ever. It was actually made in 1999, according to that stamp right there. I don't know who the who the manufacturer is, but oh, LBZ must be it. And, all right, well, I think we all know what these are. It's like a little top. Now this one sits on a permanent stand, and the object is kind of hold the base down a little bit. Then you press the plunger, which causes it to spin. Well, this one, it has a built-in feature that I find quite mesmerizing, and I'm sure you will too. Hold on, I'm going to stop my dishwasher so you can hear it. Check this out. Is that not cool or what? Is that not the coolest toy ever? I mean, come on. You'd have to not have a pulse to not find that cool. Anyway, I actually have to bring this over to my my nephew. A friend of mine gave this to me and said, "Here, give this to your nephew." I'm like, "All right." If that ever makes it that far. It is pretty cool though. It's got this. So basically, there's a. For those of you who haven't figured it out yet, it actually draws air through it, and through a and through that. A set of vents on the side. As it's spinning, it creates like a drafting effect, which pulls the air through the toy, and as the air is rushing through it, it creates that really awesome UFO sound that makes it so awesome. Anyway, that's it. That's pretty much all this video is about. So, thanks for watching. Oh yeah, it does require periodic maintenance. There's actually, it tells you to oil it. There's an oil symbol there. Just want you to drop some oil down the shaft every once in a while. So, it's a toy that requires maintenance. And that's something you don't see every day.